What's going on, guys?
Watch my mouse.
What's going on? So, uh, today. Oh, shoot.
We can't win. Nobody
Come
wants
on,
you to know
man.
the truth.
It's those ghosts. Come on.
Yeah, it just started to push down. This is some different device.
This is a different device. We
Can't
will
you
get
get it hooked
this.
up?
I don't know why it's being stupid.
Oh boy. Sorry for all these interruptions. We're constantly
Well, nobody's watching.
failing here. What the heck?
Come on, man. This is crazy, man.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get this.
You should get it to lock in good enough. It's not turning. It's not locking.
Maybe I just do this. I think that might be better. Tie this.
I don't think
That
that's
wasn't
gonna
tight.
help.
Hello? Trying to get this to work. Stupid thing. Come on, man.
This story's never going to get started at this rate.
Technical.
Technical malfeasance here. It just won't go right. Do you have the other stand?
Yeah, but it doesn't have this thing on it.
Well, that thing seems to be a piece of garbage. That's supposed to lock that little ball in place so it stays.
Why does it seem like loose?
Because it's from you. Is this no, that's not loose. I don't know.
There's no other things? So we're having technical difficulties here. Of course. This is the paranormal from the other side, guys. I'm trying to get this. The hell?
Is that supposed to twist down until it locks? Maybe you don't have it twisted enough. You gotta have it free open first to twist it.
Maybe the start.
Let's see. No, it doesn't look like it even.
We're trying to fix this thing, guys. Just hold on. Sorry. This thing is loose. Is this tight?
What are you doing? You're
Yeah,
twisting
this is
the
supposed
cable.
to tight like that. Okay, let me try it now. Let me see if it'll work now. We're still live. Ah,
Who's that?
Mom. Oh man.
Hold on. This ain't working.
We will get this.
Yes?
Just wait momentarily, guys.
What?
We will get this to work.
Go ahead.
Just hold on. Sorry. Ah! Just a sec. Okay, guys, hold on just a sec. I'm sorry. Let me just try and fix this stupid thing.
Well, maybe somebody was during a holiday. Was one during a holiday?
Okay, let's see here.
Well, I just gave you what the machine told me. I have to go look at it again. But, I will contact you back again in a little bit, all right? Okay, bye. Never gonna get anything done today. They don't want you to know the truth. That's what the problem is.
I mean, you can start.
I can't start because you're blocking my vision.
Why is this?
It doesn't lock. I already tried that. For some reason, it's not a screw on. It's only, I don't know why it works the way it does, but that's the way it works.
You got 2 people live on that.
Yeah, hold on for a sec. Take this camera and let me see. Because you're
We're gonna see if we can. Just look at that. Nice. We're gonna be doing this in just a sec. The paranormal, but this stupid thing is not working. So just hold on. I appreciate you joining. So, but we will get this up as soon as we can, and hopefully we can get it to work. So,
for some reason
is it not processing good?
It's not locking into the cable good. Oh, you know what happened?
What?
You broke the top of this piece.
And that doesn't work anymore?
Yeah, see the screw thing here?
Yeah.
Hold this piece.
Oh, you can fix it? We're gonna try and fix that. Look at that. Because this thing right here, look at it's wobbling, and I started to go live, and then all of a sudden it just plopped. So we're gonna see if we can fix this, so we can get the paranormal experiences here soon. So stay tuned. Appreciate you guys. So we're gonna see if we can hopefully fix this stupid thing.
See this thing here?
I wish this thing was made out of metal, but it's all made out of plastic.
This is supposed to be locked. Yeah, this thing, you should get a duplicate of this.
Yeah.
Threaded thing.
Yeah.
One with a different handle, it's better.
Mm-hmm.
One with a metal one.
Can we still get it to work?
Yes, hold on.
Okay, guys, just hold on one sec.
I made it thicker now.
You made it thicker, so we're gonna hopefully this will work. He's screwing it in. Look at
that. I have to get it screwed in first. I have to catch the thread.
Yeah.
Why didn't I catch the thread? Am I in the
If
right
it's not one thing, it's
Oh,
another.
it's the other side, maybe there. Okay. Now, I have to do with this.
Just gotta tighten it. Is it tightening in there?
Well, yes, it is. How's that feel? Let me see if I can get it
Still
over.
a little loose.
Hold on. How about that?
How come this is loose? Okay guys, this is how you repair this thing.
No, this ain't repair, this is a temporary fix.
Temporary fix.
Yeah, just to get it to
Stay tuned,
How's
stay
that?
shortly. I don't know why it's like that.
Let it go. That's it. That's as best you're
Do
gonna
you think we can get it? Do you think
Yeah.
that will hold it?
Yeah.
Okay guys, wish us luck.
Oh, I'm falling down.
My dad is falling down. Oh no. Connecting. Sorry guys. Let me trip this on here now.
Try to do it without flipping a button. There, is that better?
Okay, that is better.
All right.
Okay.
Finally, yay!
Yay.
See what? That's why
Hopefully-
it's always good to have an extra tool kit little
Yeah.
pocket toolkit with you,
Yeah.
so you can fix.
So,
All right, let's. That's it. You're gonna mess up everything now.
okay, guys, we're gonna.
Look what you're doing.
I'm sorry. Okay, guys, we're gonna start with the paranormal and his experiences, and
So you're in it.
it's gonna be
now.
freaking awesome. And then, if you guys have questions, please ask the questions about the paranormal, and then
You're supposed to be
going
on that
to
phone and look.
be
at
on the phone. I'm gonna look at it, and I'm going to tell him what questions about the paranormal, if any questions about the paranormal you have. So
Okay.
he's gonna take it away. So
My knowledge is over 69 years now, but we have to start when I was just a little kid. And this is how you begin to learn that there's more to this world than what you think. And let's start. First, when I was very young, my mother took me to visit my Aunt Peggy. She was in a hospital at the time. I was very young, and in them days, they just let you run around the grounds while they go visit the person. So my mother went up to visit, and I'm just running around this was in New York, in Queens, in a very large hospital area. There was like several buildings there. I think it was Queens or Brooklyn, but this was a long time ago. Well, anyway, I'm a wild little kid back then, and I was running around the area, and I found this big giant window well, and those window wells were huge. Of course, like a kid, I went down into the window well, and okay, now I'm in the window well, and I've looked around, fooled around in there, and then I said, okay, let me get out. And of course, I'm Mr. Smartass. I'm going to get myself out. So the first thing I did was I tried to climb the gate, and I could not reach. The gates were huge, so you could climb the window gates because the windows were huge. So I climbed the gate, but the gate ended, and there was a little bit of a wall, and then you have the part of the window well which is down into the ground. I tried to reach over. I could not reach over to get to the ground. So I couldn't get over there. I couldn't throw my body because I'd have fell in the window. So I go back in it again. I'm thinking, oh, I'm smart, man. I'm going to get out. Oh, there's a bunch of vines hanging off the side. I'll just grab onto those vines and pull myself right out. Well, I grabbed those vines. I started to go up a little bit, and the vines just broke. And everything I could think of was not working. I was stuck in that window well, and I was getting afraid. So finally I said, God help me. And no sooner did I say that than my mind, God, and this doesn't sound like much, but we're going to go on in the future and learn more as we go. Well, anyway, directed my brain right to the window gates again, and that there was no lock on it. Now, they would probably always have it locked because they went together like this, and like this, and then it was locked in the middle, but the lock was gone. I was able to open that window I was able to open that window gate and bring it all the way over to the wall, and I was able to get out. But this was my first lesson that sometimes you have to ask God for help, and He'll enlighten you or help you get out of a problem. All right. That was my first little lesson as a child. Second lesson as a child. Now I'm very young. So think of me probably about 6, 7 years old. So I'm pretty young. Now, I'm a little older now. Not much, probably still around 6 years old or something. All right. I'm on 40th Street in Queens, right off of Queens Boulevard, on the, I was on the, south side of the street. well, you got Queens Boulevard, and I'm on this side of Queens Boulevard. So they have row houses. I don't know if you know what row houses are. There's 6 family row houses. That means there's 3 apartments on each side, and that's one apartment building, but they're all connected. So they call it row houses. All the roofs are connected. So I'm across the street, and it's evening or night, kind of, because it was dark. And I walking down the street, and I look up, and I see another window above it, and they were only 3 stories high, but this was on the roof. I see a big rectangular window, and I look into the window, and then I notice that it's some sort of thing there. And at that time, I didn't know anything about spaceships or anything like that, but I was just a little kid. I didn't know nothing. Well, anyway, I'm looking in the window from across the street, and I'm looking up into it and kind of trying to see what's in there. And next thing I know, this person or being comes out to the front of the window, and he's looking towards Manhattan, because his side of the street was, I guess, east, and Manhattan was west of this. So he goes and looks. He looks to the right, and he looks to the left, and he's looking out towards that place. Then he looks down, and he sees me. And this is where I first learned about thought communication. Somehow, and I'm still wondering today how it's done, I was able to hear him talking to the person or the being, because they weren't really, they looked human in shape, but they weren't really human. But he was talking to somebody else. I didn't see the other being, but he was talking to him mentally, and I was able to overhear it. Now, I don't know if it transmits to your electrical line in your ear, or it goes directly into your brain. I don't know. But it sounded like somebody was standing right next to me talking to me. And he goes and he says, "We should come back for this one." And then he had to leave. They had to leave, and they flew off, and a helicopter, a bubble type helicopter, came down almost to the street light. And in them days, the street lights were curved like this, old time street light, and it came almost down to the top of that. And somebody else must have saw the craft. I don't know who it was. If anybody ever remembers that, this was a long time ago, probably, I'm 69, probably a long time ago, probably 60-something years ago. Okay, so now we're going to move on, because that was my alien thing. But it was interesting how they talk, because I find that if beings from the other side talk to you mentally, sounds the same as they did. But let me move on from there. Okay, that was in Queens, and we moved around a lot, and we moved to Halsey Street in Brooklyn. Now I'm just a still little kid. I'm in first grade now, and like any kid running around with his friends in the street, I run out between 2 cars, and this invisible hand stops me cold. I mean, my whole body shook, and it stopped me cold. And as it did, a car went right in front of me, and the handle of the car was like 1 inch from my stomach, from my chest. It was really odd, And so I was saved by somebody from the other side. And I thought that was, wow, I'm glad I'm saved. But, I was going to school another day in the future after that. And I see a kid get hit by a car. And I ask myself, how come he wasn't saved? How come I was saved and he wasn't? And that was a profound question, that one of the questions that stayed in my head, even to this day. But that was, it was pretty weird. I was, like anybody. I was a little kid. I was a pretty wild kid. I used to ride the backs of buses on the bumpers back then. That's the old days, you know. But because I didn't have any money. But anyway, you know, I was a pretty wild kid. Now, I'm getting older, and next thing I know, uh, I'm I'm in high school, and I made a friend out of one of the teachers. I mean, a real good friend, and we would hang out together. Sometimes he lived in Valley Stream, I think it was. Yeah, Valley Stream, out in Long Island, and I would go out there, and we would go drinking in them days. You know, I was young and drinking. Now I wasn't a little kid. I'm talking about high school. I'm older now, and there was drinking and stuff, and I was gonna head home after drinking, and first thing I couldn't get on the train. I was too dizzy, so I went to sleep alongside the railroad tracks. It must have rained. I got up because I was a little moist. But anyway, I continued on walking into Queens from Long Island, and I'm heading through, and meet this dog, this big German Shepherd. Now I'm going through an area that's, let's just say it's not safe, usually, in Jamaica, Queens, at least back then. And, but this dog, wherever I walked, this dog followed me, and he always was a little bit away from me, but he followed every turn on the street that I went. He followed me. He stayed with me, and I finally was reaching where the subway was. This was a good walk, and this dog was with me. And I say to myself, one more block. If he walks with me one more block, I'm taking him home. And I'm crossing the street to go that one more block, and he turns and goes the opposite way. And it's like, that's interesting, because why did he walk with me all those miles and turn the streets and everything, and then when I say that last thing, he turns and walks away? I thought that was interesting. Thought maybe it was like an angel or something, but who knows? Whatever it was protecting me the whole way, and it was a big German Shepherd. There was one other thing when I was a little bit younger. I was in a junkyard lot, and they had these big mounds of dirt, and then they had these pits, and I'm kind of off in the back, and I'm running around, and I jump from one mound to another, and one of them, of course, I fall in, and I split my knee open, and I still got the mark here from the split. And so what happens, I'm looking in, I could see seedy stuff looking, but it wasn't shooting blood or anything, so I didn't break a vein, but it was wide open, you could see right to the bone, and I'm getting myself up out of a hole like this. Now I'm where usually there's nobody there, nobody comes down the street, and it's like, you know, I'm all alone. So I come up, and I lift my out, and I head towards the street, trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do. And this car pulls up, and this guy gets out, and he says, "Oh, you need some help and stuff?" And I say, "Yeah, I split my leg open." And he's seen that. He took me to the hospital. They sewed my leg up. He paid for that, and he brought me home, and he dropped me off. I don't know who he was, and to this day, because I was just a young kid, probably about 12 at that time, paid my phone bill, paid my medical bill, and left me home, and I'm home with a big patch around my leg, and waiting for my mother to come home. Oh boy, I was pretty wild back then. Okay, let me move on. These are things you learn as you're growing, you know. They give you little hints. Okay, let me see. Okay, I was probably around 19 years old, and I'm a kind of person that believes in. I guess I was always one who believed in compassion and caring, and you know, I guess because I have more memory from the other side of the way love is. But anyway, this world absolutely is pretty cold and pretty hard on you. And I was not too happy with the world. So, it's like, all right, I knew God says you cannot kill yourself. So I knew that. So I said, okay, I'm going to leave my life in God's hands and I'm going to just not eat. And I did that for a while, and then I was one day for a whole week. I was shown a set of visions of what's to come in the future. And the first thing it showed me was a flood hitting New York City. It wasn't a gigantic flood where the whole city was destroyed, but it was enough to wash people away. And then I was watch that happened, and that was the first vision. The second vision was I was outside, and the sky was dark, and then all of a sudden there was sparks falling from the sky all over, like little bits of fire, it looked like, coming down from the sky. That was part of my second vision. Now this happened for the whole week. All right. Then, let's see. Third vision, the moon was turning blood red. And I thought that was interesting. Uh, and in the let's see, yeah, that was third vision. Uh, I'm not sure what it was like. It was another vision where I wasn't sure whether it was the moon or another planet, but I'm going to say probably was the moon or whatever. It was terraformed to look like another Earth. Okay, and from what was red, and then it became like an Earth, another Earth, but not I guess it's a temporary location to go to. All right, for whoever I guess is going to go up there. So it looked like another Earth with water and land masses. The fourth vision I saw was the sun was a symbol of a dove inside of the sun, and I'm sitting looking at it, and from the position of the sun, because I take this stuff into account, it looked like it was springtime from the position of where the sun was, and in the middle of the sun, you could look at it, it was a symbol of a dove. And I turn around because I'm watching myself, and this person comes in, and he's got a clipboard. I thought that was interesting. And he had some sort of badge on him, and I guess they were going to take people from the Earth up to that location on a temporary place because they were going to remodel the Earth, whatever. That's what I assumed. I'm not 100% positive about that, but I know they were going to take you up. So I asked him, I came up to him, I watched myself, I asked him, well, can I go? And he looks at his clipboard, and he says, well, you have a few things here. But then he bows his head, and he communicates with somebody and says, yes, you can go. So I go down into the street, and there was giant dollies, looked like it was being packed with stuff they were going to take up to the other world as a temporary. And I asked the person next to me, can I go? What happens when we get where we're going? She says, well, we're going to eat. All right. Now I have another vision, the fifth vision. um, I'm back on Earth, and the Earth looks different. Everything is kind of flat and neat, and there was this big round building, beautiful building, and I'm standing in the street, and I could see perfectly cut grass all around. Everything was neat. And I go up to this building, and this person comes out, and he takes me inside, and I notice on the side of the building was a year that it was constructed, and the building had the year 6,300 on it. So it was in the year 6300 that the building was created. So anyway, I go into it and it's all cut out, and he tells me, well, you can't take any of the names with you. He says, you're here to see what companies lasted through that time. Now, I didn't understand what he meant, why he's talking about companies, but he's talking about companies lasting through that time. He says you can't take any name back because you may change the past, change the future. So I tried to remember a name, which I'm pretty sure shouldn't have done, but I did try and I could not. When I woke up from that vision, I completely forgot all the names that I was looking at. But I noticed the building was cut out. You'd walk through this big hall, and in the middle was all cut out, and there was all places all the way up, going up, like a big cutout in the center, and the platforms, all around as you're going up. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I'll try to jump ahead a little bit here. Uh, I was with my mother. There's probably a lot of little things that occurred. Oh, no, no, no. Before my mother passed away, I was over at Costco. PetSmart was right there in Mesa, right near, just in Mesa, on Broadway. They're gone now, but they used to be there. And what happened was, I had an encounter, but this is the way it started. I bought a bunch of stuff for dogs, and I had two stainless steel $20 stainless steel dog bowls. Each was $20, and I'm in the. This is, I guess, to teach me how demons work. What's going on? Anything interesting?
I have not received. It says at work, random channel surfing, having lunch and saving the world. Then Mariah says, hey. And then the same guy, Valiant Thor, watching from Los Alamos National Laboratory.
All right, well, let me get on to it. So what happens? I'm in the line. The lady does not charge me for the second bowl. And I want to tell her that she missed it, but something is holding me back and trying to make me just not do it. And I'm fighting with this thing. And right now I don't know what it is. It's just fighting with myself, I'm thinking. And I go out, and I don't tell her right now. I go out, I get in my car. It's a perfectly sunny day here in Mesa, in Tempe, just out of Tempe into Mesa. I get in my car, I put it in reverse, I look backwards, and there is a shadow being jumped up like he's happy. He thinks he got me. He jumps up, and I think it's a person. I'm not sure if I'm a person. I put in park right away, jump out, look in the back. There ain't nobody there. But it was a complete shadow. You could not see a face or anything. It was just a shadow of a person standing right behind my car who jumped up like he was happy. It looked like I had hit him, a person, but it wasn't. I wasn't even moving. But anyway, I still jumped out to see what was, if there was a person there, but there wasn't. All right, so I'm fighting all that night. I mean, I'm fighting my mind all friggin' night with this creature. And finally, by the morning, I finally beat it. I said, I'm going in because that afternoon we're going to Vegas on a flight, and I'm going to go and bring this in and tell the person. Finally beat him because I'm not going to let him win. So what happens? I get down there to the place, and the manager, whoever, is just opening the door, and I say to him, hey, one of your people forgot to charge me for this bowl because they were on top of each other. And he goes, wow, you're the most honest person I ever met. And I'm saying to myself, if you were fighting with a demon all night. But anyway, I cleared that up, and I think I beat the demon for that day. But, move on with life. It's a lesson to be learned on how you you how demons work, how they use mind manipulation. They try to, I call it mind whispers. They try to talk you into stuff, and they make you think that it's you, and they may make your body feel certain ways and things to help you choose wrong. Okay, that's the way I learned demons work. All right, now, uh, my mother passed on. This is another story. My mother passed on, and I got to see what we really look like. And what happened was, it was 11 o'clock. I was with her. She had cancer, and I didn't want to see my mother pass on, but she goes one time. She goes, "What have I done to myself?" She was a smoker, and she had cancer. So what happened was, I was with her, and 11 o'clock at night, she left the body. And kind of, you want to turn this around so they could just see kind of what it looked like. Now, I made a recreation. This is not the exact thing, but it's a recreation. Just lift the whole thing up and turn it around. Kind of look. That looked like about the size.
The thing up on the top left.
Yes. All right. Hold on.
See that? Can you zoom in more?
Yes, I'm going to zoom in. Back it up. Come on back over here now.
You see that, guys? That's what
Yeah.
it's supposed to look like.
And that was the size of a soccer ball. That was about the size of a soccer ball. She had left the body and she stopped. And she was there for about 30 seconds, probably trying to communicate with me, but I could not understand. But I'm looking at it, and I noticed it's all energy. It's not a solid, like, material and heat, what we think is here. It's energy. It was a sphere of energy around it that you could see inside, and it's all these coils. And it wasn't that day, but another day after that, I said, maybe that's why the brain is in coils, because that's how we connect to it. That's another lesson too, that we are energy, part of God. Now we're going to learn a little bit more, but she left, the body was still alive, like a car without a driver. The body didn't die to the next day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But the family came over the next morning, and what happened was, my daughter, I told her what happened the night before. She didn't believe me. She didn't believe a word I said, so she tried to talk to my mother. My mother would not respond. The body was just sitting there, and she tried to talk to it. It would not respond at all. I look out the window, I go, "Oh, look, there's pigeons out there for her." And she goes, "She don't deserve pigeons. She deserves doves." And no sooner did she say that, the pigeons flew off and doves flew in. And that was kind of a message that the other side is right there. So just to let you think about that. All right, let's see. Let's see what I think of the next one. Okay. Well, try to get this to I tried to wonder, how come we are, they tell you, like, we're part of God and we're all connected, and I go like this, I want to know how we're all part of God and how we can be all connected, because we all look separate, okay? And it's like, what the heck? What the heck is the answer to that? I just don't know. And then it comes, the information comes to me, and it's not exactly, but I want you to think about this carefully, okay? Just think about it, so that you could try to figure out how we're part of God. Think about when you have a dream, okay? When you have a dream, you create your environment in the dream. You know who you are in the dream. You'll be walking through the dream or whatever, and you have maybe made streets, you may have made buildings, you may have made a sky, and you've made other people. Now you may go up to some of these people or not, one of the people, and you may ask them a question or talk to them. Do you know what their answers are going to be? No, you don't know what their answers are going to be. Why don't you know? You know that's you. That's you. But you don't know what they're going to say because they have their own mind. But how could they have their own mind when they're a part of you? You created everything. Everything is a part of you. And that is a basic understanding of how God has created everything. And we're all a part of God, just like that dream. Well, think about it. If you, let's say you were in the dream, I'm not saying that we're in a dream, but we're in a creation. But think about this. You created the dream. What if you were able to keep that dream going for a day? What if you were able to keep that dream going for years? And you were in that dream. You would be living in a world that you created. So it's like, wow. Could it be that simple? But yet it's more complex than what we think. Still, we don't know exactly how, but there is an example of how creations can be separate yet all connected. That other person or those people in the dreams or whatever you see in the dream, you created it, but yet it's part of you. And that's how you got to think of the Creator, that we are all part of Him. And because we're all part of Him, we're all part of each other. Now that's what you got to think about. And that's an important factor. Okay? We have to think of that. We're here, this is what I've learned over time. We're here to learn. We're here to get lessons, to learn and make mistakes and go back to where it's real. Here is both good and evil, and we're here to make choices. When we go back home, we get to evaluate ourselves, and we either grow in wisdom or we might grow in stupidity, but we may have to come back a bunch of times before we learn. But the whole thing to remember is we can not like what people do, but we have to love everybody. That is the key. And why? Because people make mistakes, but everybody is part of you. And that is something very hard to get a hold of. So just think of that. And maybe in the future I'll give you a few more stories. I did a lot of studying and stuff because when I figured out, well, going back to the UFO thing, I didn't know it was a UFO. I was just a little kid. But then I seen this docudrama that was on TV in black and white about UFOs, and it was like, that's what they are. And I've been studying them ever since. And also studying how the other side and us are connected, and how what it tells me is that every being in the universe all come from the same place. So maybe when you advance beyond here, you could actually advance to another world. Just like here, the bodies are like cars. We don't have a sex. We may have a tendency, but we don't have a sex until we enter the body and we choose the sex for the experience. We're here for experiences. We liked it. We like these experiences, but it can be pretty rough at times. But it's all part of our growing. And as we gain the wisdom, we either don't have to come back here, or we can go to other worlds and learn other worlds, how they are. And they all come from the same place we came from. I find it interesting. I guess if you have questions when you leave here, you get all your answers. But for now, that's all the answers I can give you. I thank you for visiting. Any questions?
Yeah, guys, did you guys have any questions? I know you guys, there's 3 people watching right now. But if you have any questions, please write in the comments. That would be great, so we can ask away about UFOs, about paranormal activity, about spiritual other side, anything. Just message in the message chat so we can check.
Did you have any experiences, Jonathan? Well, just to give you one more experience, just to let you know, I had this being that would come to me. It was a lady, I didn't know who it was. It would touch my arm. It would touch my leg. It was always respectful, never touched me improperly. But I didn't know if it was something on my bed that was, I put everything in a certain, and it touched, it still would touch me. Like it knew me from the other side. And then at the end of it, I'm coming out of a conscious, weird conscious state, and the person comes to me, and it's a woman, and she says, "You told me not to touch you anymore." And I'm trying to talk to her, and I'm having a hard time. I go, "No, who are you?" And she doesn't answer me. She just says, "You told me not to touch you," and she never touched me again. So I thought that was interesting, and that went on for a whole week. And I have more stories, but I don't want to inundate you beyond that for now. So just know there's another side. There is a creator, and we're all responsible for what we do. And anything in this world, you're not taking anything with you. The other side, you got to go home sooner or later and answer to yourself, because once you're all the answers come to you when you get to the other side, you're going to have to evaluate yourself, and you may have to come back to relearn or do whatever. So that's why you have many lives here at times. But go ahead.
I don't
Any
think...
questions? No questions?
No questions, but I appreciate the sharing of stories from Mariah. I don't see anybody else. So,
Well, if you have questions, you could always leave the questions on the
chat,
chat
chat or the comments.
Yeah, the comments, and we'll try to get back to you and answer it.
We'll see what we can do, and we appreciate you guys.
Do you want me to give them one more story, just as a go away?
Sure, we can do a quick go away question.
Well, one of my sons, I had 6 kids. Oh shoot! Every time I keep thinking, I think of another one story. Remember, Ephraim visited before he was born. I had one of them visit before he was born, and I'm getting all the kids in the car, and I got them all in the car, and I'm in the house just checking for make sure I got everything, and then there's kids hanging against the wall, and I yell at him, and he looks at me, and I look at him. They always catch a little bit off. And he heads for the kitchen, and he turns around and goes down the hall to the kitchen. I run right after him, and he's gone. And then 1 week later, my wife is looking from where the stove is into the dining room, and there's a little boy sitting where I usually sit at the table. She turns her head away, turns it back, and the boy is gone. And she was pregnant, and she had a little boy. So that's another one to go. We'll save the other ones for later. But that ought to give you enough idea that there's more to this world than we know.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else. Anything else?
No, not right now. That should be enough. Otherwise, we talk about Michael and his change in life. Sometimes they have to scare the living crap out of you to change you for the better.
We do appreciate them. So if you guys,
You do, yeah, in my head.
if you guys can please like, comment, and subscribe, Johnny Vlogs, we really appreciate that. Or if we get on some videos to come, more paranormal. Maybe we'll do some ghost hunting sometime. Maybe. They're trying to get back to metal detecting too.
Yeah, that I like to do.
So, but stay tuned. It's gonna be freaking awesome. Tomorrow I might go live again. I gotta see, or it might just be a video. So about a very hot chicken sandwich place. So stay tuned for that. So, thank you guys
I could see myself.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna end the stream. There's actually 4 people. So, but if you guys can, let's see. Oh, I missed it. I'll delete. Yeah, if you haven't watched it, if you can just rewatch it, that would be great. So, thank you guys very much, and
I could still see it. It's still up.
okay, I got it.